Hey guys, and welcome back to the Hobby Dude 007 channel. Well, it's time for our next project, but before I get started on that, I want to bring you up to date on several other projects that are in the works and have been for some time. Some of them that had stalled out, but they will get done this year. Also, a couple of little things I want to share with you that I'm going to be doing so they can be setting up that are for upcoming projects. Then we're going to dive right in to that next one, which kind of like the last one, I hope will be a shorter one, but it is one that I've got to have ready for Atlanta, so let me share it with you.
Bring your model to life with MCV products. Visit them on the World Wide Web at mcvproducts.com.
Okay guys, before we move on to our next project, there's a few things I want to get done so it can be curing, and I can do that a little bit at a time, and that is a few projects of body work. The first thing you notice on any car is the paint, the finish, the fit of parts, of course, but the manicuring of the body really is important. And this project, this Thunderbird, is for the Lucas-C NASCAR and Circle Track Facebook group build, which is the 1981 to 91, the first decade of the downsize cars. And this is my project for that. It will be this car, the Petty Enterprise 1985 Thunderbird. Well, as you see here, I have smoothed that seam from the earlier year Thunderbird down, kind of tapered that off. I'm going to get a little putty on that, and we'll straighten that up a little bit. These things do have seam lines here. You can see where I marked the door jambs, because in 85 those weren't visible. So these door jambs that are molded in are going to be filled in. You notice I've removed the body moldings down the side already, and I'll be replacing that with the stock stuff. But what was on it was a little bit too big, and to me personally it looked a little out of scale. Anyway, we'll be filling those in and reworking that a little bit. The fit of the bumpers is, I guess, less to be desired in some ways. You can see, while I can get this here, it's a little off-centered, and you see the little gap between the body there. So we want to do some fitting here and here until that's nice and snug. And also you'll notice here how that's not even. And here, this needs to come out just a little bit. So we'll be pinning that up. Same for the rear bumper. There is a gap that you can see on this side, so we'll be leveling that up some, and you see how these body moldings don't line up exactly, and we'll have to do the same thing on the back as the front. Well, that is, if I can hold it in place. You see how that is uneven there, so this will have to be clamped to right there. I'm thinking with this one, I was going to have the wheels on but the hood and trunk open. So we'll be having to cut that trunk open and do some prep. But like I said, a little bit at a time and let things cure. So we'll be doing that. And then also our project for Atlanta, Mustang Sally, I've got a lot of body work here to do some kind of pre-prep for. We'll mark where these body moldings and or the scripts and all that are. And you see the seam. Well, I haven't marked it with a Sharpie yet, but there's a seam line that runs down and then down to the body and back, and then right here as well. So all this will have to be sanded and smooth. And you'll also notice right here the little gap, how that doesn't fit on either side. So we're going to be smoothing that on both the body and the hood. And it is a little forward, if you see up here, so that does need to come back just a touch. So we'll be doing that, letting that sit up, maybe get this in primer. Not sure yet, but we'll see. Then we're going to move on to our main project, and there's some body work required there. If you recall, back in October, I think it was, I put a challenge out to the content creators, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, wherever, to do a channel signature van like my 40 Ford sedan delivery that you see here that had the workbench in the back. first of all, that was a fun project, and I had me a little vehicle that advertised the channel. Well, this is going to be kind of an update to that, but this is going to have a different theme. The first one had the theme of the workbench being in the back there, and a mobile workbench, and this one is going to be the Keep Your Hands Off My Models edition. So this will have a 007 flair to it, and what I wanted to do is perhaps, I think just like with the Aston Martin, have these little hideaway spots on the vehicle where weapons can be stowed. So I thought maybe the headlights could pop up, and then you might see these popping out. So some miniguns up front, and then I'll make a hatch for some missiles or something like that for both the front and back. And what I thought I would do is, since I'm going to that extreme, and I'll have, just like with the 40, I'll have my daughter make the dry transfer decals again. She enjoys doing that kind of stuff, so I'll let her do that. Let me get this back bumper out. I thought what I would do on the back bumper, and I may have a hatch back here with maybe a couple of 50s and some rockets, but instead of putting the bumper on this way, I thought I would reverse it and put it on this way. And the reason, right there, the reason being, then you've got this little slot down here that I can put a couple of the micro tubes coming out, like for like an oil slick or something like that coming out. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I think arming it up a little bit, making it a true 007, keep your hand off my stash type thing. And I'll scratch build the rockets and the pods for those. But I'm thinking that's where I'm going to go with this. But this one is going to require a little bit of work, and this is not anything reflecting on the manufacturer. This was my own doing accidentally. It's a little chunk right there and a nick right there. That was my own doing. I got a little careless with the motor tool, and I did that. But that's an easy fix, honestly, guys. But there are a few things that need to be sanded and cleaned up just a little bit. But overall, this is a really clean 3D print. And I'm thinking about opening right about center here, somewhere in there. Have that folded down where there's some, you can see some rockets or something. I don't know. I was thinking about doing those right here on the side. But yeah, keep your hands off my stash. But another Hobby Dude 007 signature vehicle. And again, that invitation still stands, guys. And remember, the debut for these is the Atlanta show this year. So this is what we're going to be jumping on after we get a little bit of prep work on these other ones done. And I want to get a little bit of that done so it can be sitting and drying, and then we'll jump on this and knock this out. This is going to be a curbside, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm thinking about with this one going old school on the wheels. I've got a lot of wheels that I've tried, and they don't look bad at all. But these Ansons from Pegasus, these are just beautiful, beautiful wheels. And to me, that looks pretty cool in there. But we're going old school on the vehicle, so I'm thinking some little more old school wheels, but not stock, but something that kind of sets it apart. Some of the modern stuff looks really good on here. It's just, for some reason, these speak to me a little more. So, and guys, I may change my mind again before that gets up. Well, that's it on this. We are going to go ahead and do a little bit on these and let these be drying, and then we'll be back on this full time. So that's where we stand. I'm going to get a little bit of this done so we can set it aside, and I'll be giving you updates on this. Also, many of you have asked about the 71 Mustang that you see here. And no, I haven't forgotten about it, and you wanted updates on it. I have been working on it, but many of you know that what happened with this car was when I got to the body, I was test fitting some stuff and making some stuff for the windows, and I had a mishap and I broke both the A-pillars, and I couldn't get them right for the life of me. And then I ended up breaking another part of the body, and to be honest with you, that just took the heart out of me on it, and I just set it aside to just leave it alone for a while. But that I am determined is going to be ready for Atlanta too. We're going to get back on that. As I said, I've already been working on it quite a bit, and I think I've got the body back in a place where I can get back on it. But I do want to get our channel signature vehicle done first, and then we're going to jump back over to these back and forth a little bit, but you'll be seeing some updates on both Mustangs coming up. But we got to get Sally's done too, and we'll be sharing that progress as we go. Okay, guys, God bless. Hope y'all have an absolutely awesome day. Look forward to the next update. Later, guys.